Welcome to The Narrow Road, reflections on faith and ordinary life. For today's reflection, what quenches your thirst? In order to answer that question, we have to first ask ourselves, what are we thirsty for? There's a moment in the gospel reading where Jesus meets the woman at the well. She comes to draw water to fill up her bucket, but something interesting happens. By the time their interaction is over, she ends up actually leaving her bucket at the well, going home without the water that she came for. So what is it that she was really looking for? What changed in that interaction? We often feel the same way in life. We are in the pursuit of something, or we're after something, and we end up kind of changing course once we start walking down that path. You know, when I get my next job, when I make a little bit more money, when we finally take that vacation, when I move to my new city, when I do this, when I do that, then I'll feel satisfied or have the peace or the happiness that I've been looking for. But how long does that satisfaction really last? I'm picturing my same self in this story. If I were to carry that bucket back from the well, the bucket would be full to the brim. You want to maximize as much water as we can, the bucket of life. And you start walking. Of course, the road's not going to be even, so maybe a little water slushes out. And then your right arm gets tired. You switch it to your left arm gets tired. You put it up on your head. By the time you get home, you're kind of tired. You've already lost maybe 20% of the water that's in there. It's time to wash your hands, your feet, maybe take a drink from your journey. The family's thirsty. The animals are thirsty. Before you know it, the water's all gone, and it's time to refill the bucket again. And that's the nature of the physical world. We eat, and we're hungry, and we're satisfied, but then we're hungry again. We're thirsty, so then we drink, but then at some point we're going to be thirsty again. We chase money or success or things or attention only to then pursue more. All of them require constant refilling, but none of them were meant to fill our hearts completely. And that's why Jesus says something remarkable here. Whoever drinks the water that I give them will never be thirsty again. He's pointing to something beyond the physical world, something much bigger. And I imagine this water, this bucket of the spiritual life as a bucket that's already full to the brim with water. And things can't spill over until they more than fill their current place. And so the bucket's full, more water is being added to the bucket, then water is continuing to spill over the sides because there's such an abundance of water that we can't even collect it fast enough and give it to others and share it to others, much like the love and the satisfaction that comes from a relationship with God and with Jesus Christ. That's the only kind of water that truly satisfies. My soul finds rest in God alone, the living water that never runs dry. God bless. If something in this reflection resonated with you, be sure to check out some of our other reflections on the channel or share them with somebody who you think might enjoy them. And if you prefer the written form, you can check out my weekly newsletter reflections. I have a link in the description below. And until next time, keep walking the narrow road.